This is my third set. Lord, please help me find a band so I could do this shit live already. Thank you. The first song is about the Arab Spring. It's called Revolution Running. Check.
Revolution
Okay, let's save that. Speaking of revolution, this next song is about Pablo Picasso, and it's called Paint the Revolution. Check. Check.
Anarchists who live to create the fourth dimension. Geometric red earth sloping up a pale blue sky. Intersecting planes form a portrait of three dancers. The window in the terrace is a pair of white doves fly. The rhythm of an image breaks in fragments of bright color. Three musicians paint vibrations from a square of light, understanding far beyond the shape of recognition. Translate the eternal in the coolness of the night. The symbolism of Eden, the great eye and the sun. Broke free from tradition, three worlds becoming one. Shifting mass of ideas slightly touched with fantasy. Expression of emotion drawn in abstract shades of blue. Sacred light that pierces the dark veil of mystery. Creation of lies that makes us realize what is true. Reflection of war like the sum of all destruction. Fragments of a bitter struggle captured in a scream. One cannot throw down what already lies in ruins. Enigmatic window looking out upon a dream. Boundaries of perception paint the revolution. Passion for creation, an empty window frame. A woman standing on a balcony. Dark horse drags a sailboat to the sea. Masons swing their picks at blocks of stone. Ancient beggar sits and waits alone. Barefoot peasant wishing on a star. Harlequin playing his guitar. Vineyard set against a spreading town. All of it a scattering of realistic clues. Imaginary crowd in the hands of the gypsy who knew that it was important and did his best to explain. Patterns provide order in the chaos and confusion. Paint a new frontier till not a single myth remains. Boundaries of perception paint the revolution. Passion for creation, an empty window frame. For art in Eden, but later as was done, broke free from tradition, the all becoming one.
This next song is called Sometimes. Check. Okay, I'll keep that, warts and all. See how it goes from here. This next song is about Ludwig van Beethoven. It's called To One Day Hear the Rain. Check. Check. This next song is based on Stoic philosophy. Check.
If a bull were attacked by a lion, it would defend as fiercely. Fear would have been forgotten long before the battle began. Nothing else matters when confronting a violent end. Not even time is affected, only the instinct for survival. When making the will of nature our own, we must accept the challenge. For it offers itself freely with the decrees of eternal fate. The trials we endure will introduce us to our strengths. What can be taken from us? There is nothing to lose. The two resources which are greatest attend us wherever we stir. Nature, which is universal, and virtue, which is our own. Thus was the design of whatever force fashioned the universe, whether omnipotent God or impersonal reason, with its nexus of interrelated causes. If you remove me to the bridge of piles and set me among the destitute, I will not despise myself because I have to reach out my hand for arms. All adversity I consider exercise. That which does not destroy me only makes me stronger. Valor forged by desperation is sharpest, focused with abandon, trusting nature's rhythm. My salvation began when I learned to live as nature commands. The world is ordered throughout by the will of God. Lead me thou, O Lord, to the truth, that I might face death without fear. Self-reliance is the road to happiness. We are in the world, are we not? All life is bondage. We must learn to grasp whatever good lies within our reach. Sorrow is never so great that it can destroy the hope of one more day. The days of our present go by, and each day is a stage for life. Yet slight is the portion of life we live. In anticipation of tomorrow, we lose today. Don't lose the day in expectation of the night, or night in fear of the dawn. It is better to conquer our fears, for once submitted to reason, they are appeased forever.
This next song is called Desperation Angel. Check.
Throw away the
This next song is based on Zen Buddhism. It's called Thundering Silence. Check. This next song is based on this studio and the objects therein. It's called Palettes. And hopefully I don't fuck it up too bad. Check.
burner, looted from a Buddhist temple all those years ago. Silver lion memories drawn throughout the collective conscious, coming out 10,000 miles from the lotus throne. Red armies shape their destiny, grace in the face of adversity. The stolen commodity finds its way back home. Prayers it is heard, music in the word me. Rhythm and rhyme woven in time to be. Sticks and gloves, violence and love, the energy. Will it become more than the sum I see? Somewhere someone paints a new frontier he thinks is crystal clear, drawn from a deeper essence and a unique experience. Hopes and dreams and transitory, like the ending of a story left unwritten, because the future is uncertain. Wire sculptures simple to profound, vision shaped from memory, which means that it was meant to be, standing right beside me on sacred ground, looking at the airbrush clouds and night sky, 7 rows of wire faces mounted on 3D, everything evolving from an idea somewhere near the confluence of art and insecurity, the constant flow of transformation, of realization, of causes and effects. First light reflects the future and past, living in the moment, leaving something that will last. Through it all, questions kept at bay. Any other way denies my destiny. Any other way in the 3 collections wouldn't be. And they are. It's all bullshit. No one sees it. A tree growing in a forest on a distant planet. Hoping and praying and loving and hating. My space underground, all the years spent creating. Rhythm and harmony and words to the song. Where we let go is where we belong. Fourth palette, painting more than pictures that look good upon a wall, rise and fall like tides and empires. From where I'm sitting, a lifetime of things I'll leave. Not naive enough at this point to believe something's thrown away yesterday. Something's handed down like wisdom in the incense burner. In the grand scheme, what will really matter? Working in the studio, doing what I do.
All right. This last song is based on the book by Thomas Pynchon called Against the Day. Check. Hey, man.